What you're going to do from here is you're going to cut off a piece of thread, I would say roughly from your shirt pocket to the end of your fingertips, just like so. From there, tape it with a piece of the Scotch tape to either the end of a chair or a wall or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just as long as it's taped to something. And then what you're going to do at this point, you're going to notice that there's hundreds of little threads inside. All you're going to do is just fray the end a little bit, just like that. Hold it up to the light, and you'll be able to see that there's numerous threads. You're going to pull out one individual thread. All you do at this point is you just take it, the first two fingers, and you just push the thread back. When you get about halfway, take the piece of tape right here at the end, and we're going to wrap this thread, or right around the piece of tape. Wrap it around a couple of times, that way it doesn't come off during the effect. And then we're going to place it right behind our ear, just like so. From there, what we're going to do is we're just going to pull the rest of the thread out. Take a piece of the magician's wax, wind it up in a little bitty ball, just like that, and we're going to place it right on the end of the thread. Just take it around in a circle. Make sure that the thread gets really mixed up in the wax. If you look closely, you'll be able to tell right there that the thread's actually mixed in. So you got a piece of tape, wrap the thread around twice. At the other end, you have a piece of magician's wax. Now we're set up, we're ready to begin. All you have to do, and this is very important, what you're going to do through here is, anytime you want to take it off, if you want to float something else small and lightweight, you can do so. Let's say they're like, well, can you float this or that of mine? Say, sure, no problem. Let's say they hand you their driver's license, you can do it. Make sure what you do, I'm going to show you very carefully right here on the clear part. When you apply it, you push down just like so, and it's ready to float. When you're ready to go to their object, very cleanly, just peel it back up onto the nail as you set that down. Now you're ready to apply it to their object. Very easy to do. Just make sure that you do that. It's very simple, but that way you don't get caught out with somebody saying, hey, can you do my driver's license or a credit card or whatever. What we're going to do is we're going to learn to make it float, just the basics. If I could see your hand 1 second. Great. Now let's say, for example, you have a spectator. You want to make it float out of their hand. What you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to set it wax side down, just like so. Now from here, what I can do, and it's very, very convincing, I can take my hands above the object, I can take my hands below the object, or I could take it around the object. It doesn't matter, because you have full control. Now, they will not think it's thread or anything like that, because you're really selling at this point that it's not got any kind of hookup whatsoever. But what I'm doing in this particular situation is I'm going to go up above the thread. I'm going to go below the thread. The thread's right here, so I'm never actually touching it. It's in this big circle part right through here. Below it, and then right here, I'm running right along the thread. The thread is actually coming right through here in the center. Now from here, I just come in and extend the finger, and it's going to float right up to my hand. Now, that's very, very simple to do. Not near as much practice as the next move that we're going to learn. The next move that we're going to learn is the spin with a card. And what you're going to do with the spin, it's very simple, but you're going to take it with a flick of the wrist. Now, you don't want to do it where there's slack in it, because you're going to break the thread instantly. You don't want to pull too hard, because you're going to break the thread instantly. Try to get it to where it's nice and firm, but not too tight. And then you're going to gently at first give it a little spin. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time before you can actually spin the card fairly decent. I would put in a lot of practice on that particular part. If you want to go out and you want to float something pretty quickly, do the first little move that I showed you. It's very convincing, and sometimes in this situation, less is more until you get it. But like I say, practice on that spin. Once you get that, here's another little move that you can do. Put your fingers together, your middle fingers, lean back, and we're just going to let it wrap around the finger. And that's going to be where we take it through the hoop. Now, do you by chance have a credit card or a license that we can use? Here, I have one actually in my pocket. I'm just going to take the credit card. Let's say, for example, someone wants you to float their card. What we're going to do is we're going to apply the wax. The same thing goes. Now, certain things will spin a little bit better than others. What we're going to do is, if you want to take it from one hand to the other, you're going to guide it with your head. So if you turn your head, the card's going to go that way. So basically, it's up, down, with it spinning. So you extend your hand, it goes up, bring it back, it goes down. The thread is always controlled right here in the center between the thumb and the first finger. When you spin, I'm going to show you the taking it through the hoop now. What you're going to do is give it a spin, put your fingers together, just lean back, take it around, take it around. What I did was I just broke the fingers open. That's what it would look like. So I'm taking it around and I'm catching it right there on the finger. When it gets towards the end of its spin, what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to take it and catch it, because that's going to kill the illusion or the effect of it. But for example, same thing, take it right around in a hoop, point. What we're going to do is I'm going to teach you a very simple move. It's called around the body. It'll take you a little bit of practice. What you're going to do is you give it a spin, and then what you're going to do is it's going to travel all the way around your body just by turning your head. Now, to get it to go back around, if you remember a while ago, I showed you the move. We're going to take it through a hoop, and this time, instead of catching it, I'm going to let it come all the way back around the body. Around the body will take a little bit of practice. It's more of an advanced move. So one more time, what it's going to look like is just like that. Look around. I think it's all right to look around for it to come, because it's traveled around your body. You could also use a regular playing card. It doesn't matter. You can really float anything you want. Just practice on that spin. The spin is key. Float it right there in between the fingers. All I did on that particular move, I give it a spin. I come in right between these two fingers, and I come in and put the thumb underneath. Very, very simple. One more time in real motion, what it would look like. We'll run through it very quickly, right around the hoop. Here's a little move where you can actually close your hands around the card as it's spinning. Very simple to do. It's just hanging over. You just close your fingertips around it. Another way that shows that there's no possible way of any hookup around the card.